Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to a review of Season 3 of Red vs. Blue. Um,
And my
I,
final video before I head off to college.
yeah, because this is going to be the last video that, me and AJ do before he goes to college. Because, the next time that he does a video, he'll be like, living on campus and stuff like that. So
Yeah,
that's going to be,
I'll still bring my laptop home on like weekends and stuff. So like, won't be my last time in this room. But next time we make a video, I'll be in my dorm.
yeah. And this is like his last video, like, pre-college, I don't know, college
Life.
tenure or whatever. I don't know.
Yeah.
You would think I know what that's called by now, but
I know,
nope.
right? 'Cause you're actually in college.
Anyhow, but yeah, I'm Owen Finch, and if you didn't know by the, you know,
Yeah, by you
um,
saying my name, I'm AJ Talent.
yeah.
And so yeah, Red vs. Blue, season 3.
So we will say the last video sucked. We haven't addressed it yet because we haven't really been in the position to. I think we did maybe once, but we really got to talk about it here. The last video sucked because we made the huge mistake of spreading out that season like 5 months?
Yeah,
Like,
something like that. Like we really stretched it out.
yeah,
So we made sure to like watch season 3 over the course of like like a week or two.
yeah,
And
um,
like recapped it a bunch. Like we're like, all right, this and this happened.
yeah. And I think
Like this season is, spoiler alert, way better than season 2.
yeah, like this season 2 is more memorable, like a lot. And
A lot more
familiar. I'm more familiar now with characters. So if Skype decides to be Skype, I'm not gonna be like left in the dust this time. Like,
yeah.
um, but let's talk about season 3. Um, apparently too, by the way, according to Netflix, this is all one episode. Like,
I know,
what the
right?
heck?
Man. Season 3 only has one episode, and it's like more than 2 hours. Man, that's weird.
Yeah, and it's like it has like a lot of
Look
stuff
at that.
happens.
Season 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. They're all only one episode.
Yeah, a lot happens in that one episode too, huh? You gotta really. Can you imagine like watching that stuff live? You gotta really sit down and digest everything in that
I
amount.
know, right? Man, it's almost like there are a bunch of episodes clumped together.
Yeah. And apparently too, Netflix thinks it's a volume, but nope, it's a season. Netflix, sorry.
There's season 3 at the very end.
Yeah. Um. But yeah. Back to get.
Oh,
time to
and we
see
get
this.
an updated theme song this season, which I think is really cool.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Couple new shots. We see Donut in his pink armor instead of his red armor from season 1.
Yeah. And it's just basically updated. We see like them flying around in the new like clothes and stuff like that. So yeah, it's pretty cool stuff. But this season came out between the dates of October 12th, 2004 and May 18th, 2005. And like I said, if you want to know what's the date of every episode, we'll be here like for 3 hours. I don't really feel like listing off the dates for 3 hours. So basically, do the match. Do the match. No, do the math.
Yeah. Do the English, Owen.
Yeah. Do the math. Just add 7 days to each of the, after October 14th, and there you go. If there was a mid-season finale in between, then I can't help you there. You're on your own. So, but let's talk about this season. So yeah, that's one thing we definitely noticed, that it had, an intro, and the season, kicks basically right off like a few hours or like a few minutes after season 2. We see don't.
Oh, sorry. Do you want to go? Or?
Yeah. Where we see Donut is talking with Tucker, and Tucker just got shot by the O'Malley. So there you go. And he's all laid out, and basically they use this scene in like a comedic way to update
everything that happened in season 2.
Yeah, because it's been a while. This is before Netflix, and this is before even a little bit before YouTube. So yeah, believe it or not, can you imagine? Like we kind of live in that era where we're old enough where like we wouldn't probably know what to do without YouTube. Maybe Netflix. I think.
Know, right?
I feel like YouTube would really struggle, because basically what would we do all day like without YouTube?
Yeah, go outside. Ugh.
Yeah. I know that people are gonna say we don't have lives, but like I said, this is the
the
only
only
video.
reason we can't make videos all the time is because we do have lives, unfortunately.
Yeah. I always think we work that in somehow. I don't know how. It always comes up. But this is the first video we've made together in like 2 weeks, so don't say we don't have lives. I mean, you could say I don't, because I've been working on Video 2000.
Yeah, I haven't really done much the last 2 weeks, actually. I quit my job, so I mean, I've just been hanging out.
But still, like, I mean, I guess you could say that now, but anyhow, let's get back to the video. But anyhow, so yeah, this is basically recapping it for everyone that, because it's like
point out, like, the things we like and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So, actually, funny scene is, Tucker is lying on the ground, in pain. He just woke up. That's why Donut's explaining all the shit that happened at the end of last season. And Tucker's like, "Oh, just build me a robot body," and he's like, "We can't. We already used that joke to make on." And he's like, "Well, just have that Doc guy, shoot me again."
Yeah, and then he's like, "Oh, what do you want?" Yeah, because he says like, "Bring out Doc." Yeah, he says, "Bring out Doc." And then he's like, "Well, why? You think Doc can?" And then he says, like, "Doc's not here to kind of, fill us in." And he's like, "No, I just want to die." Now, the joke could be based on what your imagination is, because he's, he just got shot and, like, and basically, like, is torn apart. So the joke could be, like, he'd just rather be dead than feel the pain. But the way I take the joke is he would rather be dead than have to deal with Donut. Because Donut's the dumbass of the red team. So,
Tucker, Donut, Sheila, and Tex are all left behind in Blood Gulch.
Yeah.
We see Simmons is in a room filled with like teleporters, so he's like in like the central control room, whatever you want to call it.
Yeah.
And he like I'm either in a nexus of teleporters or like a janitor's closet or some shit.
Yeah. And we see that Sarge and Caboose are in like just a lake that's like abandoned. More on that later, but basically.
Yeah. Well, before that, Church and Griff are in a jail cell. They got captured by the Reds on Sidewinder.
Yeah.
Is that ice planet Church mentioned in season 1?
And we know that Doc, Lopez, and the O'Malley are somewhere, but we're not gonna say yet because that ties in later on. I guess we'll just talk about them because that's more like a quick thing.
Yeah, they don't really do much until like later.
Yeah. You know the name of the area more because you've known the game. You know the games a little bit better than me. So.
Yeah, I haven't actually played the games, but like I've just watched the show. They bring it up a lot.
Yeah. Basically they're in what is the name of the place that like Doc and
the planet is Sidewinder.
Okay, I was gonna say that, but I wanted to make sure that wasn't one. But we're just gonna break down everything like as everyone's separated, just kind of as like one big thing. Because if we try to do it scene by scene, it'd be really sloppy.
It cuts back and forth, but like basically it's all happening at the same time. So we'll just talk about like what's going on with Church and we'll talk about what's going on with Sarge and Caboose first.
Yeah. I'll talk about that first. So one thing that you really notice, like based off like the interaction that Sarge and Caboose have with each other, is that they really took like this show more seriously and started developing characters for each each person in the show. As you saw,
is, like, way dumber now.
Yeah. And I even thought like it did a different voice character, like did a different guy voice act him or something like that, but no, it's just I think he just threw his voice dumber. And Caboose thinks that the lake he just says something stupid about that. He thinks that he saw the O'Malley, and he's just basically like acting really dumb to the point where Sarge gets pissed off. And Sarge overhears something, and he walks over, and him and Caboose, see a bunch of dead bodies. To which this is where it really shows Caboose dumbness, because he says it's just nap time for them, but he doesn't call it nap time; he calls it sleepy time. So, they're kind of like they're kind of wondering like what the hell's going on, like why all these guys are just laid out like this. Because obviously they're kind of concerned too, because they think maybe something's out there killing them. So they don't want to die along with them. But then we see that they
when they get there, they at first think that O'Malley is the one who killed them all.
Yeah, but then we see they vanish, and then they respawn as if they're in a video game, And that's what we find out. We find out that it's just people like us playing a video game and having like an Xbox Live match with each other. And this was cool because, you know, Red versus Blue in the past have always kind of taken jabs at like situations like this. Like we saw it in the very beginning stages of the show. Like, you know, when they would mention, like, you know, how they're just standing around, not really doing anything. We're all just fighting for, like, you know, nothing.
And like, there's like just two things in the middle of a box canyon. Who gives a shit who wins? Because, you know, no one would come to this place anyway.
So this was kind of like a real nice way to kind of, because this was them more like doing it with like actual thought and actually like, you know.
Yeah, instead of just like making a quick little jab at it.
Yeah.
Because and like how all the Xbox Live players are like obsessed with the flag and like worship it. I think that's really funny because like you know, if you're just playing the game, it's like, oh, you're just capturing the flag because that's the game. Yeah. But in the universe, it's like all these people are murdering the shit out of each other for this stupid flag.
Yeah, and we see too like it's basically also in you know, bad for Caboose and Sarge because if they die, since they're like, you know, actual people with actual characters and stuff, they can't respawn. They're dead for good. Yeah. So, and basically since they were in the same armor and everything as the Reds and the Blues, basically, so Caboose comes up with all these ideas, but they're all stupid. So Sarge doesn't go with any of them. So Sarge comes up with the idea where Sarge and Caboose take each of the flags, and basically, since they worship these flags, he's going to use this to get, you know, these Xbox Live people to get them to do whatever they want. Mm-hmm. And at first, like, I believe one of the guys just says, well, we could just kill you and take your flag anyway. So then Sarge shoots him, and basically everyone just starts killing each other, so the plan ends up not working. But then Simmons, this ties in, obviously, so that's why we're talking about Simmons. He finally gets the teleporter.
Yeah, Simmons was in the teleporter room, so he was trying to figure out a way to get everyone back together.
Yeah, so he gets...
he sends... do you want to talk about that?
Yeah, he sends, like, a message saying, like, you know, tells him to go to, like, tells, like, Sarge and, you know, Caboose to go to wherever wherever the teleporter is in, like, that world. And, you know, they basically can't go anywhere, so Caboose comes up with the idea, and this actually, it sounds like a dumb idea, but it actually ends up working, where Caboose, comes up with the idea that since he had the O'Malley in him at one point, maybe he can, like, get that rage back that he had when he had the O'Malley, and that's exactly what happens. And I think here, like, Sarge kind of makes a little bit of a joke how Caboose, where he lacks in brains, makes up for in bronze. You know, Caboose kills all of them, and then eventually Simmons, you know, gets the teleporter to work on their end, and they both end up just going through. But it was a hell of a way to start the season off with that nice storyline, and them to see, like, you know, them take a new direction with, you know, Caboose's character and stuff like that. Now, do you want to talk about everything that happened, like, back at Blood Gulch and stuff like that? Yeah, as this was happening.
We get a cut to a guy in white armor. We don't really know who he is at this point. He's infiltrating the Red base. He beats the shit out of this guy, and he's going to torture him for information. But he gets a call, and it's just like a comedy bit where he's like, you know, he has this guy at gunpoint while he's taking a phone call. And he's like, oh, well, sorry, I don't have time to torture you, so I'm just going to kill you. Cuts to black, guy dies. Oh, so sad. Oh no, we'll miss you, random guy.
He's gonna be the new Matt from Death Note, right?
Oh yeah, Matt. The guy who just goes to Hawaii, and we never hear from him.
Remember that guy was in Hawaii too.
Oh yeah. So we then cut to Blood Gulch. Tex heard about this guy. His name is Wyoming. He was in the same project as her, and they were all named after the states. Well, they say Tucker says 50 states, and Tex says no, 49. Remember, Florida. So it's a joke that in the future, and they're saying like Florida got like destroyed. Yeah. So I live in Florida. Hopefully, you know.
Hopefully too. Like since this came out, like, you know, 2004, it was kind of like it's in a universe before you move there. Like,
I know, right? So Florida was already destroyed.
Hopefully you moved out. Hopefully you moved out after it was already destroyed.
Yeah.
Imagine like it moved. Imagine it got destroyed the day after you moved out, or the day
Oh
before you
god,
moved. Or the day,
that would it'd be my luck.
yeah, or the day before you're gonna move out, and have a new
Yeah,
start a
so
new
like my
life.
house is already sold, but like we don't have a new house to move into.
Right.
I'd just be homeless. Um, yeah, so Tex already still owed the Blues a favor, so she says, "Hey, I'll kill Wyoming for you," because Wyoming was hired to kill Tucker because Tucker found out about the Reds and Blues being the same.
Yeah.
So Tex is like, "All right, well, if I kill Wyoming for you, we'll be square and I can leave."
Yeah. And yeah, that was that was a nice little scene to kind of continue that plot, introduce Wyoming and stuff like that, and then it cuts
We
to
also find out Vic is working with Omega now because
yeah,
they call each other.
yeah,
So Wyoming, Vic, Doc, and Lopez are all working together. We didn't. I don't think we said this. Lopez is now working with Doc because at the end of last season he was just like his hostage.
Yeah, now he's working with them. So now everything that goes down between Church and Griff. So since they're locked up in the Red's jail, and Griff they don't know is a Red because since his armor's orange, but the joke is that they continuously say it's yellow. They don't know he's a Red. So at first, he tries to just throw Church under the bus and try to get himself out of there, and they do like a bunch of comedy bits where Griff is just gonna take a nap since he's gonna be there a while. What like have burping contests. I think they make a joke like they could probably like eat each other if they had to. And meanwhile, like in the teleporter, Sarge, Caboose, and Simmons are trying to get like the teleporters to work, and Caboose inadvertently activates the bomb that's inside of Church.
Yeah. And see, like I feel like in a normal show, I'd be kind of mad at that. Like, oh great, this character's just dumb and caused a big problem. But like, no one takes it that seriously. It's pretty funny.
Yeah, because this is one of the.
I give it a pass.
I was gonna talk about this at the end, but we can say this now. Like, this is kind of one of those shows. Like, it's if you're expecting like this bit, if you're like a Breaking Bad, Death Note, Dexter, and all that type of fan, and come to watch this show for like that type of stuff, you're not gonna get any of that. This is kind of like one of those.
It does get serious at points, but like at the heart of Red vs. Blue, it's a comedy. It'll get serious, it'll get sad, it'll get happy, but like for the most part, it's gonna it's a comedy.
And this is kind of what's nice for like us, because we just got done watching Breaking Bad and Death Note, two
very serious shows, not a whole lot of comedy in it. So
yeah, and it's kind of nice. Like it shows like in life, it's nice to have like some comedy in your life, because if you don't have any comedy in your life, then you're a really boring person. Like you need variety in your stuff. You need to watch some of this. You need to watch some of that. You need to watch some of the, horror stuff. You need to watch some of the comedy. If you want to watch a musical, fine. I mean, basically, that's what these channels are for. Is for us to have variety. It gives us a chance to reach, because not everyone wants to see us review serious shows all the time. So
yeah, exactly. Fix it up.
But yeah, the bomb gets activated inside of Church. They don't know exactly what it is. They just know some type of ticking's happening. And then we hear someone break in and kill all the Reds, and we find out that it's Wyoming. And Wyoming, basically said he's just gonna leave Church there for dead. Because basically he doesn't really have. He could just easily kill Church right then and there, but I feel like he just wants Church to suffer. So, and basically Griff is just kind of like, basically Griff is just screwed. He's, I don't think he has anything against Griff, but he's just kind of there, he's basically just leaving him there just because of pure pleasure, I guess.
The guy's just kind of an asshole, he's like, whatever.
Yeah. So they come up with I think Griff's about to come up with this big epic plan to get themselves out of there, and then the gate just opens. And we see it open, and they're like, "Oh, well, I don't know how that happened." And we don't know
later how that happened, but we'll get into that.
Yeah. So that was nice. So then,
it's around this point. Everyone in Blood Gulch says, "Buy the Sheila." They go through the teleporter that Simmons fixed. So everyone's at Sidewinder now. Church, Sarge, Caboose, Simmons, they got teleporter working. They're at Sidewinder. Blood Gulch crew, they're at Sidewinder too.
Yeah.
But like almost immediately, Tex gets kidnapped by Omega and Wyoming.
Yeah.
And we learned at this time, because Wyoming calls her Allison, that Tex's real name is Allison.
Yeah, so now we're finding out, like, more of the Reds and the Blues names. Like, it's just the Blues names we know at the moment. We don't know anyone from the Reds team yet.
Well, we know Donut's name is Franklin Delano Donut.
Yeah. I actually don't remember how that comes up. So.
Yeah. But for now, we learned all the blue teams' names at this point. Well, we knew Church's and Caboose's full names from the last 2 seasons. We learned Texas here. We learned Tucker's first name later on.
Yeah. So, yeah, then everyone's at that planet. So I forget the name of it.
Sidewinder.
Sidewinder. And basically, they meet up with the O'Malley and Lopez, and they're about to, kill everyone. And basically, they're outnumbered, and they have like shields all over them. So basically, they're screwed if they try to fight them. So I believe it was Simmons who opens up the portal and brings out all the Reds and Blues that we saw having the Xbox Live match.
So just crazy shit going on. Lopez has a weather machine in him that's like shooting off lightning.
Yeah.
Doc is firing off his rocket launcher, so Simmons has, the Reds and Blues from the Xbox Live match come in and beat the shit out of Doc.
We did forget to mention a comedy bit, because I feel like this is funny, where, before, after Simmons after Caboose and Sarge left, one of the, Reds and Blues, in the Xbox Live match, tried to come off like this big badass, and they had to, take out the trash afterwards. I thought that was funny.
Oh, guys gotta take out trash. So, yeah. I mean, we can't... There's a lot of jokes that are just funny,
Yeah.
It's a funny show. Watch it.
Yeah. So then, when they've, taken out the O'Malley, and Lopez, basically everyone reunites, but we find out that Church has the bomb in him. And there's no way to deactivate it, because Sarge, he
gets struck with the lightning that Lopez is shooting off.
Yeah.
So, the switch gets, disabled.
Yeah. And there's no other way to really deactivate it, because, Sarge put it there, so that way, if he ever, became a Blue member by mistake, it would just destroy everybody. So, basically, there's Tucker's about to shoot Church, since there's no way to deactivate it and kill him. But Wyoming pops up and shoots the gun right out of Tucker's hand. So there's 0 seconds left. The bomb goes off, and we see, the whole, world get destroyed. A time paradox occurs. And then we see Tucker come to, and why don't you tell us what we find out happens?
We wake up, looks a little different, then we see Donut pop up, and we're in the Halo 2 game. Yep. So they changed it from Halo 1 to Halo 2. I think that's a really cool way they did it.
Yeah. Because, Halo 2 came out, as they were filming Season 1.
So they're like, we'll change it over.
Or Season 3, I should have said. Or if you're Netflix, Volume 3.
Yeah, Volume 3, Episode 1.
Yeah. So, they do a comedy bit, basically, saying that, the present was destroyed, but there's a past and a future. And Tucker's
that doesn't make any sense, because you're always living in the present. But they're like, nope, the present's destroyed, we're in the future.
Yeah. And they even, do, a little, live kind of, improv show, and Caboose, since he's an idiot, is just reading all of his lines exactly. Even if he has an action line that he doesn't have to read, he's reading it anyways. Tucker's confused about what the hell's happening. Just go. We really can't do this scene justice. Just go watch it. It's great. You could probably find it on YouTube. Or if you have Netflix, why don't you just watch Season 3? So.
But Tucker realizes, oh wait, what happened to Church? And then the Reds are like, oh, I guess he died. Well, whatever. And it's funny that obviously they don't give a shit, because it's they've known the guy for a couple hours.
Yeah, right.
And they were trying to kill him before that, so it's like, all right, cool.
Yeah. So, but we find out that Church is in the past.
Yep, and they're using the Marathon engine for that, which is the game the studio that made Halo made before Halo.
Yeah. So then they find a vehicle, and I think one of I forget which one, but like is using their imagination and like is saying like, well, this could really be this since we're in the future now. And then one of them's not having any fun at all. It's like, no, it's just a freaking vehicle, like it's a van. So, yeah, that was pretty funny. And then
Griff, what?
Oh, that's Griff that's doing that.
No, I was saying Griff is like listing off every apocalypse scenario.
Yeah.
That could have happened because like they just landed in like a wasteland. Like they're not in the apocalypse, but they're just like assuming they are.
Yeah. But then we find out, because then basically they also assume I think you randomly just asked like what happened to the O'Malley and Lopez, and they just assume he died, or was left in the present, and we see that Lopez is still alive, and the O'Malley picks him up, and because he's just ahead now, and
yeah, his body got destroyed in the explosion.
Yeah, basically.
But he's a robot, so he's fine with just a head.
Yeah, because it's a robot. So basically, you could say like this is where you could say maybe the mid-season finale kind of happens, because that's kind of a good place to have a mid-season finale. If they have one. I'm not saying I don't know if they do, but I'm just saying if you're wondering where it happens, I would say it's probably right here, because it doesn't make any sense. But then again, with how they ended the season, I wouldn't be shocked if it wasn't the mid-season.
Yeah, because we'll get into that later.
So then basically, we'll say this is like the season premiere. It comes back, and the Reds and the Blues are just dicking around pretty much, just messing around with the vehicle, trying to get it to work.
As far as I know, like O'Malley and Lopez are dead, so like who cares?
Yeah,
and they're just trying to figure out what the hell they're gonna do.
Yeah, so gets the turns the vehicle into solo powered, which is kind of funny to think like, because can you imagine like a car just being solo powered? Like imagine like if you didn't have like if it was raining all day, like you couldn't drive anywhere.
Well, I'm pretty sure there are solar powered cars.
Yeah, true. This is the first time I've heard of it, so like can you imagine you had no sun, like you ain't going anywhere. So
oh yeah, that sucks. They even make that joke like, oh, you left the car in the shade for 2 hours, so now we're fucked.
Yeah, so they had to push it out and stuff. And we see that the O'Malley though and Lopez they get their own layer. And
one of the red guys shows up. He survived the explosion.
Yeah.
I guess all his friends are just dead. Because he's the only.
Either that, they're just not playing the game anymore. So
yeah, I guess so.
He's just left to himself. That must be a lonely Xbox Live capture the flag game, unless it's playing.
Right, you're the only one who's playing.
Yeah, and they do some comedy too with the O'Malley and Lopez, like how they were a married couple, because they'll talk about like how they want to have like good schools to go to with this house, how they want to make sure everything's like top notch, like
not in that neighborhood, no mold.
Yeah, and like the O'Malley's just like, we are evil, we are the bad neighborhood, we want to make the bad neighborhood happen. And we should say too, like the difference here than season 2 is it's not like the O'Malley's like completely controlling Doc. Like Doc will kind of chip in and talk like from time to time and say something.
Which I think is really cool.
Yeah, because it's not like it's not like he's like completely overshadowing him, I guess.
Oh yeah, it's like, and I love it that like Omega's like super over the top evil.
Yeah.
But like Doc is just like the biggest pacifist ever, and he's just like friendship and love for all, that type of thing.
Yeah. And he recruits that red team member that's playing the Xbox Live match to join up with him, and he just joins in because he worships the flag and such. He thinks he's
like, whatever, got nothing better to do.
Yeah, and I think he's just like part of the game. Can you imagine like playing a video game and then the part you're playing is like not even like a part of it? It's just real life, like.
No, right? Like to them, like it's just like sentient people in the game.
Yeah.
But O'Malley realizes that or he thinks that Tex is spying on them.
Yeah.
And Tex sends out a distress signal to the Reds and Blues.
Yeah, and I love,
come help her.
I also love here too, like well, O'Malley's like laughing too much, and like Lopez like, okay, you're being overly evil right now, or like when he sees when he sees Tex, he's like, okay, I'm gonna pretend to walk away, ha! Like he points his gun out, like ready to shoot her, like
like she's not there. He's like, whatever, ha! That type of thing. It's stupid, but it's funny.
And then what the beats really talk about is they really kind of exploit Sarge's character a little bit. We always kind of known that, like, he's always, he's always given, like, Griff shit and, like, basically, always kind of, like, saying, oh, if Griff, like, always trying to put Griff in harm's way, so they kind of do that more this season. But, like, we also see, like, too, he, like, will make, like, these overcomplicated plans, like, for example, when, Tex sends a distress signal, he's like, okay, let's just make like this like radio thin out of the like sand and stuff like that. And Griff's like, well, why don't we just like listen to the distress signal and listen to the coordinates and stuff? And like Griff's like, and so it's like just goes with that idea, but he's like all disappointed because he really wanted to go with like his idea and stuff like that because he
wants to like do something that's super complicated that like he really doesn't need to.
Yeah, but why don't you talk about what Tex's distress signal was?
That she found the O'Malley base. She wants the Reds and Blues to come help her, which they do. They show up at the beach with her, and Sarge makes the plan that, Tex made a bomb and says all this shit that they need to do to get into the base, where she planted an X where they can plant the bomb and blow up the building. But the Reds and Blues are like, wait, so you already got into the building to plant the X, so why didn't you just plant the bomb? And they're also like, why do we even need the bomb? Let's just go in and kill them all.
Yeah.
But Tex says that she can't lift the bomb. So that's pretty funny.
I think there's probably a reason for that, because we kind of maybe
she has a new body now. Like, she has a robot body. Like, her old body was, like, super strong.
Yeah.
But, like, this one is, like, weaker, so.
And then, so Sarge goes through, like, this whole... and we find out too that like Caboose is the only one that can lift this bomb, and I think
Caboose is just like super strong.
Yeah, I feel like there was a more of a reason that I thought later on in the episode, and we're gonna talk about that. But I guess he was just...
Tucker says like he thinks Church and him thought it was God's way of making of balancing the scales. Like he's dumb as shit, but he's like super strong.
But I thought there was more of a reason to it, because they do a storyline like why he can lift the bomb. He's the only one that can. But I guess it was just because he was super strong. But Sarge comes up with like two plans to like invade the building, and it's just basically all benefiting him, and just and basically the only one that's like really screwed is like Griff, which is funny. Just go watch the plan; it's funny. And they don't go with any of his plans, because when they say his second plan, it just fades away to the next scene. Because
the first plan was bad for everyone, because it was Sarge said they'll charge in a straight line, and Sarge will be in the back, so everyone gets shot, except for him, basically.
And he said he knows the plan's working because Caboose survives, because Caboose needs to carry the bomb. So
Sarge is like, we know we're in trouble if Caboose dies, and I'm the next to get shot.
Yeah, and then Griff was screwed on that one too, because he was gonna die regardless anyways, because he was gonna get thrown into the windmill. And we should say too,
block it.
Yeah, I like too how they make the joke about the windmill, because in the games the windmill is the most impossible thing probably to get past, because if you miss a second, but it's moving at 2 miles an hour.
It's super easy to just get by.
Yeah.
So anyway, they decide, all right, we're gonna go into the base. They split up into two teams, but they immediately get cornered by a turret fire. The red guy and Lopez are shooting them.
Yeah.
But Tex manages to sneak up, shoot Lopez in the head, knock him out.
Yeah.
But when they're entering the building, Tucker fell in a hole from the windmill, and he found a sword, which he uses to kill the red guy.
Yeah.
And this is his new signature weapon, the energy sword.
we should mention too. We forgot to talk about this that they wanted Tex to make sure they save Lopez, and it's like
Oh yeah, Simmons and Griff made a deal with Tex. Yeah.
we don't. Does it get used in his storyline? TBD. We don't know. I mean, AJ knows, but we won't know until season 4. Yeah, then they go into the building, and Caboose is getting ready to plant the bomb, but then he finds a video recording of Church, and it cuts back to the past, and actually kind of like shows him like getting to the point where he's gonna film this recording, and we find out that like where he is. Basically there's the computer Gary says that basically that someone like in the same armor who's like dumb as a rock is like known as the Great Destroyer, and they kind of tie it in as a joke where he just continuously uses "great" as like an adjective to something, which is funny. Because like I kind of like it because that's kind of like anytime someone says like the chosen one or like the unchosen one or whatever, they always say the great thing. So I kind of like how they kind of took a jab at that.
Yeah.
When Church realizes that it's Caboose, he's like, crap. And he probably like they don't show it, but he basically found out all the stuff probably that they're not supposed to do, so that's why he made the recording. And why don't you talk about what was in the recording?
They say don't pick up the energy sword. Tucker picked up the energy sword, and as soon as he said don't bring it into the main building, he brings it into the main building, so it locks down, and the bomb is started, so they can't get out of the building.
Yeah.
So they're all freaking out, and I like how it cuts back to the past, and Church is like, Caboose is an idiot, but like the people around him are slightly less stupid. And it cuts back to the future where everyone's freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
Griffith's like, we gotta chew on this wall and get out,
And so, like Church is just like, yeah, I gotta go back. I gotta do something.
Yeah, Church is like the only one who's like not a complete idiot.
Yeah. I do like to how after he says all that stuff in the recording too, like I believe it's Caboose that like says, why would you just say that stuff like 10 seconds earlier or whatever? Like, So Church's idea is he's gonna go back to Blood Ghost, basically back to seasons 1 and 2, and prevent all this stuff from happening. Pretty much prevent.
He's gonna kill Donut to prevent Omega from leaving Tex and going into Caboose, which is like what starts everything.
Yeah, and he thinks too, like because he knows everything in the future, there's like no way he can fuck up. So the computer teleports him, to the past, and then we just see him. Yeah, the Blood Gulch, and then we just see him like, and I like to like because like it actually takes that amount of time for him to like for that like time machine to get built, and it, like he shows him with like a long white beard.
Yeah, and he like he's fine because he's a ghost, so like he didn't age.
And when Church, that version of Church leaves, Church like after he's done everything comes up and said. Like basically, like this is literally right after he said, "Oh, I know everything that happens. There's no way I can fuck everything up." He basically just comes over and says, "I just completely fucked everything up." Like,
yeah, and then we're gonna find out later how he fucked everything up.
Yeah.
So he gets there. He's like a few weeks or months before season 1 starts.
Yeah, we see like Sarge is building Lopez, and. Basically, we're just gonna list all the ways he fucks up because basically that's kind of like what happens. Let's see if we can get them all. Why don't you list one and I'll list one. So first,
he kicks dirt in Lopez's switch, which he thinks will prevent, prevent like the bomb, but it ends up being the opposite where it causes the switch to get stuck and they can't do anything about it.
Yeah. So yeah, good job.
Mm-hmm.
Really saving the world right there, buddy.
Okay, so TLDR, Church is the cause of all the problems.
Yeah. So we find out that there was like another guy with the blues. What was his name again?
Captain Butch Flowers.
Yeah, and basically they do like
at first we see Tucker is in like different color armor than he is later on.
Yeah.
And this guy's wearing the same armor that Tucker is later on. So we're like, oh, how'd that happen?
So, Butch Flowers, basically they make the joke that he's like a gay, which is funny. And he's about to go to sleep, and we like found out, I guess, that like he, because Church comes up and like, basically he can't like tell him like he's from the future, so he kind of tries to spin it in a way where like he knows everything, but like isn't from the future. And we find out like he died of a heart attack. But basically, Church caused his death inadvertently because he gave him medication that he was allergic to, so he caused him to die.
Yeah. And then Church and Tucker come in and they're like, oh my god, he's dead. And Tucker's like, man, that's so sad. Dibs on his armor. So, that's how we find out how Tucker got his armor.
And then another way he fucks up is, like I said, we're not going to go in order. This is just listing all the ways he fucks up. He radios into Vic and accidentally kind of like gives that, because like I do like it, because there's conspiracy theories out there like in the show, like that reds and blues are just the same thing, so they kind of like are running with that conspiracy theory in a way. So he basically like tells Vic that, and Vic, since he's like an asshole, like takes it like literally and stuff like that. Well, that's another way he fucks up. Fucking up all over the place.
He accidentally points Donut towards Blue Base when he first get there, which is that the first episode.
Yeah, because we see him like, which is kind of cool. And like I said, because that's we saw this conversation like back in season 1. And obviously we should say I don't think the writers in season 1 like knew. Obviously, then like they were gonna.
They originally planned on only making like 6 episodes for Red vs. Blue. And now the series is almost 18 years long, so
Yeah, so that was kind of more of like a hindsight type of thing. They're like, okay, let's actually do something with this. And then
the funny thing is, we're watching the remastered version of Red vs. Blue, where they went back and reshot everything to make it look better. And in the remastered version of season 1 and 2, you can see future Church like running around in the background in a few shots.
Yeah, and then we never went and looked. So.
Oh, I mean, I've seen it, but you haven't.
Yeah. And he inadvertently causes Sheila and Lopez to like work together, because basically he tells them like
Before that, Church accidentally turns off the friendly fire on Sheila, which ends up having Caboose kill him.
Yeah. So
we also learned a little fun thing. Sheila's name was Phyllis, but Church changed it to Sheila.
Yeah. And they do the funny joke.
Phyllis means something, but that's a different season.
It's funny too, because Church even says like he inadvertently caused his own death. So that's what we call a time travel paradox right there.
Yep.
And then
all these are paradoxes. He's causing the problems. Yeah.
Then it shows him like trying to repeatedly kill Donut, and he's like missing. Like it says like in like the time thin like words saying like a lot of missed failed attempts later or something like that. Mm-hmm. Then he goes and talks to Sheila and Lopez, and
gives them the idea to make a robot army.
Inadvertently, because he's like trying to.
He's like, hey, don't make a robot army, and they're like, oh, hey, we should do that.
Yeah, so that's a nice comedy bit. And then didn't he did one last thing.
He accidentally shot Tucker with a rocket launcher.
So.
He tried to shoot Doc, and he missed.
Yeah, so, yeah. And then he also inadvertently caused the teleporters to mess up and, which you knew this was
everyone
coming.
Get separated, yeah.
Yeah, you knew this was coming when you saw him working on it. Like, yep, now it's all connecting. So, basically when he screws up, he tells Sheila, about this, and we hear him tell Sheila something, but we don't know what it is. And I don't think we never find out in this season, so that's probably going to tie into like a future season. And when he leaves, basically Sheila's left all by her lonesome at Blood Gulch.
Yeah, and there's like a couple sad shots of like Blood Gulch. It's all empty now.
Yeah, because that's like we think the last time we're going to see them, in Blood Gulch. But it kind of is the last time, because that's the last time, like, in that game we're going to see him at Blood Gulch.
Yeah, I think that's kind of what I was going for.
Yeah. And then, so then what Church decides to do is, I think, kill Wyoming, I believe, and prevent. Actually, I forget what exactly was he originally, because he does
Well,
it so many.
he gets a sidewinder, and like he's just on the side, like figuring out what he's gonna do.
Yeah.
And then
No.
another version of him comes in, is like, hey, you messed up. When you get blown back to the terminal, come over to the ramp.
Yeah.
And then that leads into the scene we saw before, where he's like, Gary, I fucked up.
Yeah. And then, well, you should mention too. He was the one too that opened the gate. And let Griff and himself.
So that happens after.
Oh, okay. So then basically we see, like.
I don't know. Even if it doesn't, then yeah, Church was the one who let Griff and Church and other Church out of their cell.
Yeah. And we see, like, he basically, because it's time travel, basically he screwed up so much, but there's just a ton of churches just hanging around now.
Yeah. And Church is like, how did all of you mess up? One of them says they tried to kill Wyoming.
Yeah.
But Tucker shot Church anyway, and the bomb still went off. Another one said that he tried to explain everything to them, but everyone kept asking questions, and the bomb went off.
Yeah.
And another one of him was like, all right, I just went crazy and tried to kill everyone.
Yeah.
Which, honestly, you know what? I feel like I would do that after a while.
Yeah, I know, right? But we do see one thing. One of them is yellow, and he says he doesn't even want to go into detail about that.
Yeah, we find out what happens with him, but that's funny.
And so then the most recent Church is like, well, clearly I must have either died or did it right this time, because I'm the only one that's here now. At first he said,
well, he's like, I'm the latest one, so that means he either got it right or he dies. Because if it wasn't that, there'd be an infinite number of churches there.
Yeah. And he thinks at first it's the one before him. So the one before him goes to Free Tex, and he's just gonna win it. Because basically, like, he doesn't want to come up with like a long drawn out plan this time.
Yeah, he's just like, I've made a plan and it's falling apart. So you know what? Just improvise.
I even like too when he goes to save Tex, like he's like, I'm just gonna try to save you. I don't know if this is the right thing or not. Like, because Tex has no clue what he's talking about. She's just taking it, out of context. Yeah. And
I like how before he goes off to do what he's gonna do, he's like, Tex, if I die, I'm sorry for everything. And she's like, oh shit, he's actually like being genuine. And then he's like, but if we do survive, it's because of me. I'm a hero. Build a statue for me.
Yeah.
So that was pretty funny.
But then eventually, the most recent Church comes up and is like, yeah, don't do that. Like, no, we're screwing up again. And then what he decides to do is just be in the blast zone, from when the bomb goes off inside himself. And
so he gets blasted to the future with everyone else. We just haven't seen him before.
So I guess basically then the one that got blasted off into the past just got blasted off into the past and just continued in a cycle then.
Well, it continued into a cycle until he became the one that gets blown into
Yeah.
Because they even make a joke like, oh, hey, I'm the me that says this to you. That's cool. Because they remember talking to themselves. It's weird.
Yeah. It's time travel stuff that we can't explain.
Wibbly wobbly, timey-wimey. Anyway, it cuts back to the future. As soon as the bomb's about to go off, Church shows up, tells Gary to disarm it, and he does.
Yeah.
And they make a joke, like, Sarge's like, why didn't you do that? And he's like, because you didn't ask.
I even like, too, like, before that, like, Sarge was just like, don't you dare say because you didn't ask. And then he just says it anyways. I forgot to mention, too, like, they could have gotten out, too. But Sarge is like, nope, we got to meet our fate. We can't run away like cowards.
I know, right? And
they do a joke, too, where Church is just telling everyone, like, how he went back in time and stuff. And Caboose is just like, so why didn't you just, save yourself? Basically, why didn't you just do the other things, like...
And Church was like, I didn't do any of that. Like, he's, like, trying to hide the fact that he caused all that shit.
Yeah, right.
But before that, I like the joke that... Church actually gives a pretty good moral. He's like, I learned something, that no matter... Things can't be any better or any worse. Things are just the way they are, and suck it up.
Yeah, right.
I think it's pretty good moral.
That's
You
pretty
can't
good.
change anything. It's the way it is. Deal with it.
Yeah, and I do like that this kind of shows like even though and I kind of like it like with time travel stuff anyways. Even though you go back in time and try and you think you could change everything because you know like obviously this is like a completely different thing. I bet like if we went back in time to like Adolf Hitler before he thought of like doing the concentration camps, we could just inadvertently give him the idea by accident.
Yeah, exactly. So like maybe don't risk it.
Yeah.
But there's another little joke here I like where Church was like, all right, so do you want the long version or the short version of everything that happened? Caboose is like, I'll take the easy version. And Tucker's like, I'll take the long version, but tell me in 3 parts. Which is, you can't really tell with the way we watch it on Netflix, but all the church time travel stuff was 3 episodes.
Yeah.
So I think that was a pretty good joke.
Yeah. Thanks a lot, Netflix, on that one.
Yeah. Well, I mean, okay, yeah.
Trying to take away the joke out of that context. Thanks a lot, Netflix. I might just... You're lucky I can't get rid of you. Because if I got rid of you, then we can't do the reviews.
Yeah, we can't watch a lot of shows. So we'll deal with you for now.
Yeah. But Netflix, you're on the shit list right now, so...
Yeah, well, same with Skype. Skype's been pretty good, though. Knock on wood.
Yeah, so don't say anything yet. We could have just said that, and now Skype's gonna we probably just piss Skype off right now. Like...
Yeah, probably. So... the Reds get a distress signal. They want to go in the direction of it. The Reds and the Blues are just kind of talking with Tex. Tex doesn't trust the Reds. But suddenly, Caboose shows up and he says, Andy heard what happened with the Reds, and they found a distress signal. Church asks who Andy is, and he's like, oh, Tucker, are you Andy? And he's like, me? Yeah, no. I'm Lavertigus.
Right.
And Church was like, then who's Andy? He's like, wait, are you black? So, like, and Tucker's like, first of all, you should have picked up on if I'm black or not.
Right.
And also, you should have picked up on my first name already.
Yeah, I know. So we find out
all the blue team's names: Michael J. Caboose,
yeah.
Leonard Church, Lavernius Tucker, Allison,
and we know Donut's first name.
Yeah, we know Franklin Delano Donut, and Doc's name is Frank Dufresne, which he said earlier on. Lopez, just Lopez.
Yeah. So then we find out Andy is the bomb, and Caboose is trying to talk. Yeah, I know that sounds really kind of. Imagine listening to that out of context.
Andy's the bomb. Yeah, but no, he's like literally the bomb.
Yeah. And Caboose is trying to talk to Andy. Think about it too, like any other show too, where a bomb is talking, it'd be like shit. But here it just works.
Yeah, and I like how he's like an asshole, like New York accent.
Yeah, right. Because it's like a bomb should be an asshole because it's a bomb.
Yeah. And he's even like, "Oh, my happy place is a big explosion," And they're like, "Okay, don't think about your happy place."
Yeah.
So like, they spend like another like half hour trying to calm the bomb down now that they realize he talks.
Yeah.
Church also talked with Gary. Gary doesn't know much about the aliens that built him, but he knows a lot about humans, and they call humans shizno, which I think is pretty funny. Like it's just like a racial slur.
Yeah, that's funny. I forget, and he explains what it means. Basically, the computer Gary's jokes are like not jokes, which is funny. So then we see that the O'Malley is still alive, and I mean I guess he never really died though because
he just kind of disappeared. He just kind of gave up his fortress. He's like, all right, these guys made it, so I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, and he said. He wanted Lopez to build him an army, and he wanted, what did he say, like a day, a victory. So Lopez,
you want to explain it?
Lopez took it like literally, and he made it so that way it's gonna take a day for him to get victory. So it's like,
and Lopez is even like, at this rate it'll take exactly 24 hours to win.
Yeah, so it's pretty. It was funny. It was just. It's just jokes you wouldn't think, like, it's just kind of like a joke you wouldn't think about, like, wow. It's like such a stupid joke, but it just works.
Well, the Reds realize what's happening. They screw the hell out of there.
Yeah.
Although Donut can't fit in the Warthog, so he steals Doc's alien like vehicle and like follows them.
Yep. And then
and they end up in Blood Gulch. So Griff is like, no, because they're back there and they hate it.
Yeah. And then
so that's like the last we see of the Reds for this season.
Yeah, I did like the funny bit that they did where they have O'Malley's trying to speak Spanish to that robot army, trying to get him to move faster, and he's just insulted himself the whole time.
Yeah, Lopez is like telling him what to do.
Yeah,
and it's funny, like he's understanding Lopez, but when he actually says speak Spanish, he doesn't understand it. I think it's funny.
Yeah, so it's kind of like weird. It's kind of weird because if he understands it, like why is he saying it? And then Tex, we know is like this badass, and she really wanted Tucker's sword, and she distracts Tucker by saying there's like what hot
girls making out, and Tucker's like, okay, I know you're lying, but like it's worth the risk.
Yeah, so he takes the risk and
turns around and Tex knocks his ass out.
Yeah, and we see someone. A mystery person, probably who we think is Tex, but I just freaking, thanks a lot. Good job, Owen. Just gave that away.
Yeah. So we assume it's Tex, but it's not. Thanks, Owen. Just completely annihilates the robot army and beats up Doc off screen.
Yeah.
Like we just see like shooting and him screaming like no.
And I think Wyoming too, because we saw Wyoming pop.
Oh no, Wyoming hasn't showed up.
Oh.
Last we saw of him was like the explosion.
Yeah, and then we find out that it's not Tex because she couldn't get the sword to turn on, and they do a funny joke where like it's I do like how they make jokes with the sword, like how it makes like a whoosh sound because that's like the noise it actually makes in the game, and how it's just a switch. So
honestly, the final battle kind of anticlimactic. Not gonna lie.
Yeah, and then Gary is repeatedly saying like the Great Destroyer was here, so Church is like confused because he thought
Caboose was the Great Destroyer.
Yeah, so he's like, who's the Great Destroyer? And we see like this alien like ready to pop up from behind Church and like take him out.
Yeah, and then it just ends season 3.
Yeah.
So honestly, it was a good cliffhanger, but like. Not for a season finale.
Yeah.
And Owen hasn't seen season 4 yet, but like, if you start season 4, like if you go from like the end of this episode to like the beginning of the next episode, you would not think like the seasons end in between.
Yeah. And it's like, a lot of people had to wait, because the last episode of the season took place, in May of 2005. People had to wait till like August of 2005 to see like.
I mean, that's not too bad. It's only a few months.
Yeah. So. But still, like, it's still a bit too long. It should have been, they should have ended the season with, a bang. And
honestly, it's kind of anticlimactic. And not like
people are gonna call us hypocrites because then they're gonna say, "Well, you like the mid-season finale of Breaking Bad." The mid-season finale of Breaking Bad had to be what it was because if that,
we're not gonna say what happened, but like that twist, it had to be the mid-season.
But here it just didn't translate the same because, they built up to this Great Destroyer and they finally reveal him and then it just ends. I can't say how I would have preferred it to end because I haven't seen the season 4, so but maybe like whatever he does to Church would, I would have be like the end,
But anyway, we should probably get into our final thoughts. This season, I'll go first. This season's really great. I feel like the first like true Red vs. Blue season.
Yeah.
The characters are a lot better in this. They have a lot more personality now. Like Church is like more of an asshole. Caboose is dumber. Sarge is like even more like crazy.
Yep.
Honestly, the only kind of characters who are still kind of boring is Simmons. Like everyone else is like in like Tucker, I guess.
Yeah.
But like they get more personality. Like I say next season.
Yeah, and I like it too. Like I said, first real season. They actually did some plots. He just looks better now. Like if you go look at season 2 versus this one, it just looks a lot better.
Yeah,
I know a lot
I
of
like
people
all the
say,
time travel stuff. I like that the Reds and Blues are like working together.
yeah, and
But,
then
like,
you
they still
know,
hate each other. Like they're not friends or anything. They're just
yeah,
like just now working together.
and then you have like established villains like Wyoming, like Lopez sort of, and then the O'Malley, and it has like a overall plot now.
Oh, and Vic is a villain.
Yeah, Vic is basically a villain now too. Yeah, and then it's just has some. I feel like too this time like the comedy, even though the comedy was always a nice thing, but the comedy was really good here. I thought they really hit the comedy like right at home because like if you like play video games and know about the time travel stuff and just basically a lot of like it was just had a lot of funny stuff on it. And I thoroughly enjoyed that. And like, so if I was to give it a letter grade, I'm gonna go because the only thing that I was gonna go B, but but unfortunately the end of the season just keeps it from a B. I think it's a B minus.
I think a B minus is also what I give it.
Yeah, like it, but it's still definitely like worth watching. You
Like
do
the
have
middle chunk of the season was really good. It kind of petered out towards the end.
Yeah, I think too. Like one flaw maybe too, like that we didn't really talk about, and I kind of noticed like as we were reviewing it, is there's just kind of a lot. I mean, obviously you could say it's a red versus blue thing, but there's kind of a lot of instances where like the Reds and the Blues are just kind of hanging around, really not doing much, kind of in a way too.
Yeah. I mean, that could be said for the whole show, but like,
Yeah. I feel like just kind of like kind of here, it was kind of like there was just some cases where they're just kind of hanging around, not doing much. But
I'd say like it just depends on like when they do it.
yeah,
And yeah, like I'd say here like they have them do nothing at like the bad times.
yeah. And and then the Reds really didn't get like a good conclusion either because they just vanish kind of.
They're back at Blood Gulch now, and then they're okay.
Yeah. So yeah, B minus.
But it's still a really good season. Definitely a big step up from last one.
Yeah, last two, yeah. And I'm looking forward to watching season 4, which unfortunately me and AJ kind of have to wait until he goes to school and gets adjusted, but I can wait. But yeah, I guess that's basically the end of the video.
You stuck till the end. Sorry it's so long, but we appreciate it.
Yeah, especially too, like we're sorry it's so long, but like would you rather have videos that are long with good content, or like the last Red versus Blue that was like really short that was shit? What do you want?
So,
Yeah.
Anyway, I think that's pretty much it.
Anything you want to plug or promote?
No.
Not yeah. He's not plugging.
Yeah, I haven't uploaded on my YouTube channel in like a year.
Yeah, so
I'll probably make a video when I actually move into my my dorm room, like showing it off. But
yeah.
Till then.
Yeah. You also said you're gonna make a video showing off your cap and gown, and that didn't happen either. So.
Yeah, I mean, I'll probably do that eventually.
Yeah. What are you waiting?
I mean, a little late, but I'd be like, hey, this is what I wore for, graduation.
But yeah, as for me, you can check out this channel for future Red versus Blue videos. Me and AJ are talking about at some point. We don't really know when now, but we're going to be starting to review the X-Men movies, which we're excited about that. And we're also gonna, future. We don't know when, but obviously future. Death Note stuff when we do it. And the date, we'll just say it now. So, obviously we didn't get everything done we wanted to get done before, but we were the movie stuff we didn't get done, but we really wanted to get this done. This was kind of like the top priority. So, August 24th, though, 2019, will be the next video me and AJ are going to make. We're going to make another channel update video, basically like a fall update video. And we're waiting until then because AJ starts school on August 19th. And
yeah, I move in the 15th, classes start the 19th, so that should give me enough time to get adjusted to my schedule, get a feel for like what I need to do.
Because we talked about, like, we don't want to make the video before he starts, like, school itself, because then the whole schedule could, like, change in an instance. So, I know that happens anyways, but, like, especially it would happen.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, definitely.
But then we'd have to make another channel update video. It's just a waste of time. So, yeah, August 29th. And it's going to go on the On the Talkinator channel as well. And very soon, we're going to finally start our next show, Haunted of Hill House. We've been talking about that for a while. I don't exactly know when we're gonna start it. We might start it like, you know, early September, because we might want to do the movie. Depending on, we'll talk about it. But we might want to do the movie stuff first, and then the you know, start the new show. So we'll talk about that. But yeah, so obviously check out the On the Talkinator channel too. Just look, I looked that plug in, and as I talked about it, I've been alluding to it throughout the entire video. Basically, Wrestling Fortune 44. I'm coming on to my 2,000th video on there, which is very special. AJ is going to make a cameo on it. He's going to come on and say something. We're going to show, like, our first video we ever made together. I don't know. He's going to film the, you know, the video, hopefully before he leaves Thursday.
Oh, yeah. I'll film it tomorrow. I was feeling kind of sluggish today. So.
Yeah. And, yeah, that would be exciting. AJ's more gonna. I mean, AJ will make an appearance, but it'll be like a cameo because he hasn't been on, you know, the channel like enough as like much as my other friends. But
yeah, because I'm not a big wrestling fan compared to you guys.
Yeah, but still, it's nice because, like, you know, we want to have. I wanted to have AJ on for like that video because that's like that's the first video we ever made together, and without like that video, this video wouldn't exist. So
exactly, along with all the other ones. So you know, we owe that channel a lot.
Yeah. And then that's basically it. We will talk to you guys later. And yeah, anything you want to say before?
See you in Red vs. Blue Season 4.